What's going on, boys and girls? This is your boy Lazy Lightsaber back at it again for another one. So I was scrolling through Twitter today and saw that the Nintendo Switch 2, yes, the second gen version, was trending right underneath the State of the Union. In second place is the most popular thing trending for that day. So it caught my attention. I went ahead and checked this thing out and saw that the reason why it's trending is because apparently there was a data breach that brought some information over to life, revealed in this NVIDIA leak. So let's jump right into it, straight into it, and see what's going on. So I'm sourcing here Screen Rant. They covered a little bit of this story, and it basically says NVIDIA was a victim of a cyber attack which has resulted in employee credentials and business information leaking online. According to Luigi Blood on Twitter, there are files in the leak that could be related to a new Nintendo Switch model. Since this arrival, Nintendo Switch 2 has begun to trend on Twitter. Yes, it was, baby. And then it says there are folders in the leak listed as NVN2. So why is that important? Well, that's important because NVN is what the Switch code was in that file earlier this year. So with NVN2 meaning Switch 2. So this isn't a direct confirmation that the Switch model is in development, and the information should be taken with a grain of salt until it's confirmed. It's possible that this designation is being used for something else, though it most likely is intended for the Nintendo machine. If legit, then the new Nintendo machine could have a DLSS support in its games. The Steam Deck is an impressive handheld system that is capable of more impressive technical feats than the Nintendo Switch, and Nintendo might want something similar for the Nintendo Switch Pro. So that's basically the entire article there, at least the important part that we care about in relation to the Switch 2. So the crazy part about this is I saw a bunch of people on Twitter talking about, oh my gosh, I just bought a Switch OLED, or I just bought a standard Switch. I'm going to take it back because the Switch 2 is about to come out. This proves it. So no, let's all pause and take a quick break, relax, keep your Switch OLED, because the Switch is currently halfway through its life cycle. Plus, we got massive games that are about to come out, like Breath of the Wild 2. You really think that a Nintendo Switch is going to launch with the second version right before these big games and these two Pokemon games that are going to come out for the Switch later on this year by the end of 2022? So no, that's just not going to happen. And they are, like they said, halfway through. So we got another 5 years of the Nintendo Switch left. So of course, you know, these companies start working on new systems years in advance, of course. So they're working on something right now. It doesn't take a genius to know this information, but you should be good with your Switch OLED or your Nintendo Switch that you just purchased recently. You'll have that forever, and it's not going out of stock or out of style anytime in the near future, at least for the next 4 years. So you should be good holding on to that Switch. Don't go ahead and give it up. It's hard to find a Switch OLED in the wild nowadays, so definitely a good idea to keep a hold of the Nintendo Switch. I myself spotted one this entire time since the Switch OLED has launched. I spotted one at a Walmart. It was the white version. I was so tempted. I actually tweeted about it. I was so tempted to buy that Switch OLED, but you know, I had to resist the urge and keep my regular Switch. But those white controllers and that white Switch, the Switch dock too, just the whole white setup looks so clean. I love how that thing came out looking, and the screen looks definitely a whole lot better than the one that we have now. But I usually play on handheld due to, you know, I usually play on dock due to the fact that I do YouTube and the fact that I just enjoy having a nice big screen TV to play my games in. So yeah, just wanted a quick post on this to let you guys know, don't give up your Nintendo Switches just yet, okay? This information could lead to something. It could lead to nothing. I hope that it does, because then that means that maybe we'll have some type of 4K support, you know, on this new Switch 2, which definitely is going to need it, especially with how these games are starting to look and come out. So you have nice third-party support on it, and it'll be a lot closer in graphical power to what the PlayStation 5 and the Xbox Series X are pushing out these days. So that would also bring more third-party support over to the new Switch system once they can make one version of a game that will kind of cover all consoles, right? So if you're like a third-party dev and you want to make a game for all consoles, you don't have to make one for the Switch, you know, like specifically for the console, because it has to be downgraded, it has to be backpedaled, it has to be cut here and cut there just to make it work on the Nintendo Switch. With this, you can make kind of one game and then split it up into each platform and do it that way, which becomes a lot easier. So yeah, I just wanted to put this little tidbit of news out there since I saw Switch 2 trending on Twitter. It was pretty funny. So I hope that you guys enjoyed this video and found some of this information useful in case you saw Switch 2 trending on Twitter as well and we're wondering what this is all about. That is it. It is a leak from Nvidia that showed a code on a piece of paper and people are going crazy over it. I wouldn't put too much weight into this, but yes, there's a Switch that's being made. Of course, we already knew that, guys. So anyways, as always, may the force be with you. You guys stay good. Take care. With